Hello and welcome.
I
We
wonder
are
how many
live.
people were turning up the volume, wondering where the sound was, where the music was. I would be. I'd be like, hey, wait, is my volume up?
Why is there nothing going on? Because we are live. We are unscripted. We are unrehearsed, and we are one-man produced. And so weird things happen sometimes. And sometimes I forget to click on the button, or I forget to unmute myself. But I am checking. We are coming through live. You can hear us, I hope. Yeah. So we should be good. Oh, so today it is 9:01 in the morning on this March 26, 2025, and this is episode 101 of the Anarchimedes Show. I am your host, Anarchimedes, and I am guested here with Eric.
Eric the friend.
Eric the friend.
The walking buddy.
Mm-hmm. So, and we are going to be building the Hack Pack number 2, which is the Domino Robot. But first, we're going to light a little bit of incense, as is our tradition around here. Get the dragon huffing and
puffing.
puffing.
Overwhelm the good breakfast smell I smell.
Yep. Because we can watch the incense on YouTube. We cannot watch the great breakfast smell on YouTube. And we are all about providing an experience for the viewers.
And some smoke for the dragons.
And the dragon. Come on.
Is it plural or singular with 3 heads? What constitutes a dragon? Is it the wings and the body, or is it the individual heads?
Would you conjoin twins?
Would be they,
right?
Yeah. So these dragons have their separate identities.
I think so. They don't all speak at once, even though they all smoke at once. In any case.
Speaking of skeletons, like we saw on our walk this morning.
So, with that, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to talk about before we jump over and start this build. But I can't. So, we'll switch over to the overhead cam and turn our backs to the main. And what we have, unfortunately, we have a delay, a lag on our little screen over here. But we have the Hack Pack. This is from Crunch Labs. You can check them out at crunchlabs.com. The link is in the description below. The link is in the description below. This is Crunch Labs by Mark Rober. And the idea is to get people to think like an engineer.
Or to think, period.
Yes, or to think. Do some analytical thinking. If you can follow a Lego book.
Oh yeah, this is easier.
You can follow these.
Yeah.
So we will go ahead, and this uses an eye, as I understand it. Do you know much about this Domino robot? I just read the description. Apparently, this thing is a robot that we build, and it will lay down dominoes. It will follow a track. You can put down pieces of tape, and it'll lay down dominoes where you put down the tape, and
then we can push them over.
And
watch the effect.
Okay. Or the robot pushes them over. I don't know which, but something like that. It's a robot for laying dominoes.
You know, you brought up the Lego comparison. I just want to ask a question because a friend asked me that this last week who's getting into Legos with their kids. They want to know if I've ever had a missing Lego in a set. And I said, no, never. And he goes, yeah, that's what I thought. I'm pretty sure my daughter is the one that lost these pieces. So. Have you had missing pieces?
Yes.
You have. But do you realize that maybe you dropped them or not?
I realize I could have, but I've searched doing the build live on cam.
Oh, the one that's episode 100? Or just
no, this was the previous one. It was actually this build.
You're missing a piece, huh?
I'm missing this piece on the other side. And I went to order it through the brick picker on lego.com, and that piece is no longer available.
So maybe
from brick picker.
Did they just run out and stop sending them out?
I don't know. It's just not available through the
Like an exhaust
pick a
pipe?
brick.
Is that what it was, or
just like a little trim piece.
trim? Okay. Anyway, just curious. And
So-
the people watching, the thousands watching, you know, if they've ever had missing Lego pieces, that'd be interesting to get an idea.
Mm-hmm. And apparently, if I could just report it to Lego, and they'd
I've done that.
like just send
They've
one
sent
out.
one out. I've actually contacted them saying, "Hey, I lost the nose cone to this airplane. Don't know where it is. I'll pay for it." And they said, "Oh, we'll send it to you. No problem."
Yeah, Lego's really good about that. I just haven't because I'm lazy.
Okay.
I only work when I have to work. Don't
That's
make me
right.
work anymore.
Or you're not a perfectionist. It's okay.
I'm
Close enough.
a recovering perfectionist.
That's true. That's true. You are.
So we have bags. Okay, and these are the electronics. I see some wires in there. It says servo. This feels like, okay, this is our breadboard.
Can I start opening?
Yeah, start opening up. And a battery, it feels like. Some heavy metal pieces. And not that kind of heavy metal. Not metal! Not like that. Black and white tape. We're going to leave the dominoes in the box for now. We're going to push the box back here. And more plates and stuff.
Make it look prettier.
Oh. Oh. And this is our gear.
Yeah, we can't put it until we're done.
Yeah. That is the final piece.
Oh, zip ties.
Anytime you have zip ties, you know it's going to be a fun time.
Mm-hmm.
Motor. And our little screwdriver tool.
Another microcontroller. Oh, that incense. I guess got a strong whiff. Yeah.
Let me know if
The
that's
current
too
must have
much.
changed.
Yeah. We're burning vanilla and strawberry. Okay. So we have a number of pieces. We should take a look at our instructions
See where to
first.
start.
And I might just...
The beasts of
You guys are going to lose your door privileges. I'll have to close that door so they don't bark at every person and dog walking by.
Yep.
Base pieces, dispenser, electronics, and tools and accessories. If you can see that, if that's showing up on cam or if that's all
A little glare.
little glare. We got a little bit of a glare, but that's okay. Okay. We take one of these and for step one, we peel this backing. I trim my fingernails, and I shouldn't have yet. The most annoying thing is in my job in the salt mines outside of YouTube, outside of my hobby of YouTube, I have to do this kind of stuff in gloves.
The one that pays you with numbers on a screen and not with the satisfaction of social interaction around the world.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I would use another term, but it would probably be a little inappropriate for YouTube. And we tried to keep things somewhat family friendly around here.
Right. You're just putting your body in another place to provide another function for the world.
For money.
Mm-hmm. So I'm sorry, I missed it. Actually, you were saying at that other salt mine, you have to take sticky tape off of things
like that. Yeah, with
gloves
gloves
on.
on. Yeah.
Ooh,
In my other life. Okay, we don't. That doesn't go through all the way yet. We need that little bucket piece.
this one.
Yeah, that's going to go on. Come on. There it goes. And then we have another, find another sticky piece. Right there. So you get really good at doing it using a razor blade.
Mm. That's what you do in the salt mine?
Yep.
Have you ever punctured the glove?
Slightly, yes. Have I ever punctured myself on the job? No. Not with a razor blade.
Mm-hmm.
You use more blunt objects than a razor blade to draw blood, generally. Okay, so now we have that piece together. I don't know what that is for, but we'll find out.
Yeah, for now we have form. We'll figure out the function.
Okay, we're going to need the shorter,
for the short ones,
or at least two of the short ones to start. We need
two of them.
The micro switch. This is what we would call a micro switch.
And one of these, not that one, but this one.
And we have, you probably can't see this on cam. If you know how to read things on electronics, you have three terminals on this switch. You have your common, normally NO, normally open, that doesn't say no,
Okay.
and the NC, normally closed.
I was going to make a joke, but I better not.
There's a lot of places that seem to be normally closed. The ice cream maker at McDonald's is normally closed.
The favorite restaurant on Mondays is usually closed. Drive all the way there and then.
Oh yeah, that's right. You had to have been there, people. So the common will feed to both of these as the switch is sitting normal, which means no extra force to close it to switch the switch.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be normally closed would mean that with this up, that common is connected to the normally closed. Normally open means the circuit is
broken.
It's open. So when we actuate it, then it becomes then it is closed. So this switch, how it's wired up, is to send signal from here to these two
when that's down.
When that's closed.
Okay.
Sorry, I used to be a trainer, and
no, it's great.
So I
it's awesome.
have a tendency to.
Yeah, don't apologize. It's a good thing. That's what this medium is all about, is going, oh, wait, there's more to this than just what I already know. I can tell from the pictures.
Yep. And that's the fun thing about, you know what, that I should mess around a little bit with that.
Yeah.
I found doing some budget shopping, some thrifting, I found an old 2000 in one electronics kit from Radio Shack.
I was just double checking those pictures.
Yeah. So we wanted to make sure it looks like the picture with the green check mark.
Mm-hmm.
A 200, I think it's 201, not 2000, a 201 electronics kit where it's a board with all laid out with transistors and things, and you connect them with wires.
Yeah.
And you can get them to do things, and that could be a fun one to explore on the channel.
Absolutely, I think so.
But Step 5. We need plastic screws and nuts. The shorter 2, and we're going to take 2 of them. Okay.
Nope.
Now it's interesting. Our screwdriver has an Allen on the other end of it, which can be used, which hopefully can be used. I'm gonna have to put some pressure on that nut to get it to bite.
Inside of there?
No, but it might just be spinning on top of it and not actually engaging
getting the first thread through. Yeah.
So it's always good to put a little bit of tension on it, a little bit of pressure, so that the threads bite and engage. Ah, look at this. It comes back and
that little lever's going to hit the
and
switch.
hits the switch. We figure out we're learning how it works.
And now you get 2 more of the small ones for the other
For the
servo.
The servo motor.
What does servo stand for? I mean,
That's a good question. I think it might be a standalone word just describing an electron or a device that actuates something.
am I allowed to cheat? And
You
look
can
it
cheat
up?
and look it up.
Okay.
I'm familiar with servos from model airplanes, building
Right.
model airplanes. This was and remote controlled cars and things like that. The servo.
Short for servo mechanism or
Yeah.
servo motor.
Okay. Servo mechanism.
It can also be slang for a service or gas station.
A servo. That's interesting. I'd never heard of a gas station, service station being called a servo. Maybe I have. I don't know. Memory is suspect sometimes.
Right. Maybe we're thinking about model airplanes.
Right. I wonder how old of a saying that is. It makes me think I would have heard it on something like The Twilight Zone.
I feel like it's probably more of a British term or
No.
origin. Actually, I didn't look close enough. That's an Aussie website, Australia.
Oh, a servo in Australian.
Well,
No.
if you have any
Yeah.
Australians watching, they can confirm for us.
Yes.
That,
If we have any, I know I do have some Australian followers, which I am very grateful for. Okay, the servo is attached to this piece.
and now orange and green boxes to make sure you did it right. Okay. We'll
No.
assume it's right.
I guess it can. Yeah.
It can go either way probably on that
Yeah.
piece. Okay.
Okay, so now we need that. Let's see. This shows this going in. Okay. There is a slot for it. There we go. Wait.
You did it opposite.
I did it
Look at
opposite.
that.
Wasn't paying
Good thing you have the
attention.
picture.
You know what? Look at this. They've got the arm
That's what I was looking at.
going
actually.
opposite of where the cords are coming out.
You
of.
did have it right.
But I didn't have. But the arm wasn't in the right position.
Yeah, that's all it was.
So there we go. That's how it should look.
Yep.
Okay, this piece. Short screws and long. Okay.
2 there and 2 more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Again, the manual makes it look orange and these are red, but you get the idea. We won't find the orange ones. We're just going to stick with the red ones.
Yeah, this is a very, what I would say a scarlet red. which is close, has some orange in it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call this a true red or anything like a royal red. Like, that's a nice red. I would consider that more of a true red.
The receptors in my eyes are just noticing a subtle difference between that and that.
What's that?
Oh, the color I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. Between the, yep.
So those tube pieces are actually threaded on the ends, huh?
Yep. Let me just.
I wonder what the design process is to choose plastic versus a wood piece in different parts of these builds, or if it's just strictly a cost thing.
Oh, I'm sure it's a very much a cost thing. Is the pressed cardboard wood is probably a lot cheaper than the plastic, than having the plastic injection molded. And I bet it's just for durability or something. And these pieces that have to hold this bar would be my guess, but what do I know?
Right.
I don't work as an engineer anymore.
I wonder if they have the data like, oh, we'll save $1 per kit if we do it this way. Or if it's 10 cents, just what the...
My guess
10 cents times how many thousands of kits, what do they end up realizing?
Yeah. I bet they probably do.
I wonder if I bet there's a functionality to it too. Maybe some more bend or
a little bit of flex and some tolerance that allows you to.
Or just the fastening is better on the wood than on the plastic.
Okay. We'll set this aside for a second. Move on to step 10. This is where you get those two big heavy metal pieces.
And 2 of the longer plastic screws.
I should make sure I'm building on camera. No, these are the round sleeve thingies. And then this plastic piece. Oh, okay. That's why those spacers are there. And then the 2 nuts.
That's us.
Mm-hmm. A pair of nuts. We won't make any more jokes about that. We're trying to stay PG. Family friendly.
That's where they come from. The family.
Usually. I thought those were jewels. Okay. This is going in.
What's the warning?
Oh, it has to. The servo has to engage.
Oh, okay.
This slot.
Yep. And the reason for the wood piece is some flex right here.
Yep. Being very gentle, just to massage it over. And there we go. In. And then, oh yeah, the rubber bands. I can do this, I can do this.
Is there enough lip there to?
Barely. It's pretty It's pretty tight. Pretty tight toleranced. These little rubber bands snap on over the edges there and hold that thing in place. There we go. And we have these wires for the micro switch and the servo. And now we're on to step 15, where we're taking, what are we taking here? There's a board or something. Oh, I should open up the other bags of electronics stuff. This one looks like it. A red and black and a blue wire, so we have power and ground and a signal. And this looks like an IR sensor, an infrared laser and a receptacle.
Awesome.
Bounces a beam out and then back. Would be my guess, judging by the two LEDs on there. So, what is the difference here? Oh, don't use the one with the green wire, use the one with the blue wire. And I've got the blue wire here. It's going to go in this way. Screw and washer. I have to deal with little sensors and lasers and stuff like that at work in the salt mines.
Yeah.
Yeah, we use them in salt mining.
Lots of aligning.
Yep. And sensing and counting and
Replacing humans.
Checking to make sure everything is.
Are you helpful or are you the token human?
I am the helpful human who keeps the machines running, so the machines need me. I'm essential for them. The robots, I take care of the robots. I feed the robots. I'm their caretaker.
They use up their parts.
Okay, we need another short screw and washer. With the LED going this direction now. Oh, it doesn't want to go in there.
So you assigned feelings to it that it doesn't want something, or assigned intent?
Yes. Personify it.
You personified it?
Because we could go into some.
It makes it easier for you to encourage and compel?
To entice.
Okay.
Once we are honest with our.
Do you talk to the robotic coworkers at work at the salt mine?
Yes. For instance.
Do they have personalities now, at least in your mind?
Yes. There's one where it says that, the wafer is delayed.
The way for what?
It was delayed in the tool.
The way for doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what's another word for delayed? For instance, when you're timing a car, late, that is another word for delayed. When you're timing a car and you want to bring the timing closer to top dead center.
Okay. You're talking about pistons and stuff, and
Yeah.
timing the
ignition.
ignition.
There's up to top dead center and beyond top dead center. If you're going up to top dead center, do you know what that's called?
No.
It's called
Ascending?
advancing the timing.
Okay.
You're advancing it.
Okay.
If you're delaying the timing, if you're bringing it away from top dead center or in that direction, there's another word for it. And that's called retarding the timing.
Okay. So the wafer is retarded.
You said it.
Okay.
Not me. Well, hopefully that doesn't get my channel flagged.
Oh, sorry.
That's all. It's fine.
There's
There's
multiple meanings to all words.
There is, and that's my joke to myself when I'm at work. Okay. That's how I keep my own sanity. All right, so this is in there as is shown in the pictures.
Oh yeah.
We can follow instructions
while talking about wafers being delayed,
which was terrible. I couldn't build that Batmobile. I was getting stuff confused, and
again, I pointed out to you last time we did a build here. That's okay. That's what the audience needs to realize. Oh yeah, sometimes we can get fooled by our own assumptions, and those are shared assumptions.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going on in the world right now.
Yeah.
Those dragons, oh man, it looks so cool.
The dragon's puffing
with
away.
The black monitor screen behind it, it just, the contrast with the smoke, it's... Do you call that smoke, or what would you call it?
It's smoke. Incense. Smoke.
Visible incense?
Yeah. Using the razor blade.
Particularized incense. I was thinking about that the other day. Those wildfires in LA that burned down all those houses.
Yeah.
Think about where all that stuff is that consisted of those houses and the contents of those houses. It's just now floating around the earth in particle size format.
Mm-hmm. Being recycled by the earth.
Yeah.
By the great recycling machine.
But just think about that. I mean, that's 10,000 homes or something like that. Like, look around you and realize above the earth, all of this could just go and just become another cloud around the earth and recycle.
Okay, we are ready for these. We need 4 of these, 2 more. Let's see, these 2 and the short screws. So yeah, if this looks interesting to anybody, check out the link in the description.
Yeah, a little more interesting once I see it.
Yeah,
we're roaming across the floor and us knocking down dominoes. Maybe not the floor, maybe just right here. Yeah.
And I'll have to put together a playlist for some of these things that we do that don't fall under Lego builds or computer builds.
Yep. So
that you guys can follow along and see the other, like the other hack pack that we did, the IR turret. We'll get, when we finish this, we'll put that down and put them side by side.
Maybe when Mark's not crashing Teslas or something, he'll watch them and be like, oh yeah, that's how they do it. In the real world.
So that's how hard it is to put together.
For those who didn't actually design it.
Mm-hmm. Now, the real question is, I know some people, especially some people, I know some people who...
Not robots, people.
People.
Okay.
Who don't have a mechanical bone in their body.
Yeah, that's fine here.
Well, no, you got a little bit.
A little bit, okay.
You can follow Lego instructions.
True.
But some people just haven't developed that skill set.
Or some mental block that's not tried.
Block. Yeah.
That matches up?
That matches up.
You hear me twisting the paper to make sure I got 1 page. 4 more.
Attach this plate on top. And it would be more interesting to find someone like that who's a little bit more mechanically unskilled.
Yeah, and see how they do it.
And watch them do it.
Yeah.
And maybe we should do that.
We should offer up as tribute the jade in the other room. The jewel.
Maybe. Not everyone is cut out to be an engineer technician.
That's okay. That's actually necessary.
Yeah. We do need those slimy salespeople. Oh, wait, no.
I know what you could do. Yeah, exactly. You could also do a commentary on a Mr. Rogers episode sometime. That'd be fun.
Commentary.
We could talk about how that episode influenced our younger selves and reflect on the examples in life. Yeah.
We could do something like that.
Reintroduce Mr. Rogers to another generation.
All right, you know what? Let's plug in that battery and get it charging while we're waiting.
Oh, we want to plug it into here?
Yeah, plug that in. And we'll plug that in back here in my mess of wires and cables.
Move out of the way.
There we go. Thank you. I'll let that charge up.
Is there a light?
I can't tell.
Okay.
Maybe.
We'll hope. Without the light.
Okay. This is going on in that is not a sticker.
Nope, it gets punched in with that.
Punched in with the little microcontroller.
That's just saying to make sure it actually goes flush.
Okay. Opening up our electronics.
So I have a question for you. Whenever I go in the kitchen and start working on something, all of a sudden my body is like, has to go to the bathroom. When you start doing this, do you have anything like that? It's like, oh, wait, I need to go to the bathroom. Or, oh, man, I'm hungry all of a sudden.
A psychosomatic response?
Yeah. You ever experience that? Or like
yes.
Going to the shop and like, oh, wait.
They're all the time.
Okay.
And my psychosomatic response is also having to go use the restroom. Certain sounds and standing still. And part of the problem is, for those who don't know me, I've had a number of kidney stones which have affected how
I'm going to take a drink of water since you said that word.
How things feel around down there. And so
when you're,
I'll be just working and I'll walk up to take care of something and stand there, and all of a sudden, you need to go right now.
And you say, "Ah, nuts."
Okay. Ah, nuts. Yeah.
So yeah, but like doing this kind of stuff, that doesn't necessarily happen.
Not necessarily. And sitting down, it's usually when I'm standing up.
True. And I definitely sneeze as soon as I go outside and have sunlight, no matter.
That's a genetic thing.
Yeah.
Looking at the sun, seeing a bright light, and having to sneeze. There is one similar running through my family. My brother and my mother have it where they get too full, they sneeze.
Okay.
And it's something I think similar in its.
Probably it's a open connection signal that gets closed, and then the servo turns and it ejects through the nose. Yeah.
Yep. Most likely.
Is it an advanced thing to clear it, or is it a false receptor, false closed circuit that reacts to a situation?
It's a cross signal. It's a 0 that switched to an O, ghost in the machine, and the machine needs to be reset. A shutdown is required.
Sometimes I sneeze hard enough that I think I might reset everything.
Every once in a while, on a tool.
Oh, it's a big thing of sticky stuff.
Yep. Some of these machines at work, we have to just.
The right way? Yeah, you do it the right way.
We just have to try turning it off and on again.
Don't you ever find yourself having to like move it to face the same way as in the picture to make sure? Or
Yeah.
you just rotate in your head?
Sometimes I just rotate it in my head.
Okay.
It's easier to rotate it in real life to match up, but sometimes you have to be able to rotate it in your head.
The Lego things, I'm always like, okay, I'll just turn that way, just so I'm seeing it the right way.
Just because...
Because when I make the assumption that I'm rotating my head, that's often when I make the mistakes.
I have to work on stuff like, for instance, something like this in place on a machine.
On the machine, yeah.
And so it might be in place like this. I don't know if that's showing up on camera.
So do you lay on the floor and look up at it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'll lay on the floor or use a mirror. I get really good at working.
Now, when you're
using a
laying on
mirror.
the floor doing that, do you ever like close your eyes and pretend like you're doing something?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I'll tell some of the workers around there, I'm just gonna lay on the floor and just don't bother me for a while. I may look like I'm sleeping, but
if the robot eats me underneath here, then
Right.
I've deserved it.
Okay, now we are taking this and hooking up connections. First, we are taking these. The red and the black are going to the red and the black.
I was just thinking we could do a reaction video and make our wives sit and watch this sometime, and then we'll video them.
Oh,
if we knew that was coming, how would we actually talk and interact differently? We'd be even more embarrassing, wouldn't we?
One of us would be, at least, I think.
It'd be funny to watch that reaction video.
A little trick here. These wires want to hold their shape.
You're going to give them a different...
I'm going to give them a
template to work from.
Yeah.
Form them around.
The screwdriver here.
And different wires have different thicknesses for that resistance to actually provide the shape, huh?
Yeah, and it depends on if it's a solid or a twisted core wire.
Yeah, these are good pointers that I don't think Mark probably gives. So.
But twisting the wire like this, especially going around something, especially a power cable, generally,
cool.
See, so then you get a nice little curly cute pigtail.
It's nice to take the time to do that kind of stuff because you're not in a rush. You're not trying to get a job done or something. It's just enjoy it and add your part to the creative process.
And it makes it look nice.
Yeah.
But on a power cable, if you've got power going up and down that cable, and it's going around in a circle,
it's going to create its own.
It's going to create its own field.
Yeah. Which can interfere.
Which can interfere with stuff. So you always want to be cognizant of that. This is why generally when I see someone coil up an extension cord and then plug it in and run it coiled up, I'm like, no, it's alternating current, but it's just, is that best practice?
If you want repeat business, that might be.
Maybe. What sensitive electronics are being affected by the field you're creating there? The nice thing is they got the template gives you all the color codes.
Yeah, it's already there.
For hooking up all your wiring. Well, that one's not as pretty, but that's okay.
Plus, this tells you where it goes. Okay.
Yeah. Just in case you couldn't follow the colors, or if you're colorblind, we don't want to discount. Just not everyone sees things the same way. And we'll do it one more time with the other sensor. The other thing that you want to be cognizant of when running signal wires alongside power wires is you can get an inductive voltage and an inductive signal.
I don't follow.
For instance, the transfer of electricity through a field is.
By the way, some of these wires now look like some of the hairs on your beard. You got some twirly cues there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I jumped on the inductive.
That's the follicles.
Okay. They're being sent out that way.
Yeah. the inductive, it pulls the current in through the air basically, and it inducts the
I was going to
voltage.
bring that up. Are our grandkids going to look at this and go, "Oh wow, they were using wires. We have this quantum stuff where they just communicate instantaneously." And are they able to control those little quarks and have those be the communication?
But you might not even have to if you could induct the signal
Through the air?
all right. You can, for instance, if you have a power wire with power running through it, and you lay a signal wire alongside it,
Okay.
that power running down through that wire will create some kind of a field. And if you get close enough with that signal wire, you can pull power either and mess up the signal from it. It's an inductive voltage. And so you want to be the way to get, for however reason, the way around that is to twist the wires together.
Okay.
If the wires
just put them in sync, like if you're gonna try it, we might as well put you together. And
if they're twisted, you don't get that inductive voltage.
Oh, they don't
or
interact?
that inductive signal for some reason. And that on the science I'm behind, I'd have to brush up on.
I'm sure there's a YouTube video that we can learn about that.
Yeah. Sorry, everybody, I'm not a scientist.
But on YouTube, you pretend to be a partial one.
Not officially, yes. I'm not officially an engineer, although I have been accused of it. It's not super pretty, but
it's better than just,
right.
It's more like your beard.
Mm-hmm.
If you colored them,
we'll run a comb through it when we're done.
Yeah.
Okay, putting the battery pack in. We let it charge for a little while. And I think pull that out and we go from here.
Has a nice foam pad on it, huh?
Mm-hmm. They don't show us like, oh, it just.
Yeah, it was the other one was pretty loose too. It was just.
This is just a tension fit in here. Like that.
It's actually the other way, but
yeah.
Plus the power switch is hidden. Not the power, but is there a button on the battery?
There's a button on the side there, and I put the battery in backwards, people. Why you have to be judging me all the time?
It's the perfectionism.
Yeah. I wanted the battery. You know what? I wanted to put the battery on this side to put the Crunch Lab logo going up, even though you're not going to see the Crunch Lab logo. So, but that will probably put the
domino laying war and it knocks off the top.
Right, but the battery, that button should go.
You want it,
the button should go on the side that it was intended, because you may need to access it from this side and not from this side, and you may not have access from this side. So I thought better. Mm-hmm. When in doubt, make sure you follow the instructions. Release, release. Oh boy, that does not want to come out of there. There we go. Okay, now we can attach the servo wires are going to come up through this hole. Passing them through one at a time, making it easier than trying to put them both through at the same time. Okay, and then, oh, yeah, it just 3 of them rubber bands. I hope I'm in cam. I don't want to be off. I don't want to be behind the where everyone's looking at the back of our heads. There we go. It's one. That one was difficult. Underneath was a little more difficult. And that one didn't want to stay in place. There we go. And the last one, making sure everything is down. Okay. That is our little robotic sled thingy so far. The Domino Robot.
Mm-hmm.
On to step 29. Hooking up the servo. Okay. Red and black, go to red and black. And I'm not going to make these all twisty and nice. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Steve Jetman, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. He knows what I'm talking about. There we go. And this one goes in the yellow over there. Our mess of wires.
Yeah. And now they're suggesting more.
Okay, fine. They want us to plug in more stuff. We have another little chip here. A little controller chip.
This actually looks like it over here. It's just...
Oh, I need to hook those up too. Okay, no, this yellow one goes there. This is the orange. This is, they're calling this one orange.
Yeah, so it's right there next to that.
Oh, I didn't need to pull those apart as far as I did.
Say sorry again. It'll be all
I'm
okay.
sorry. I'm sorry, Steve.
You want to spend some time melting those together again? Or...
Yeah, we will.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well. No. I'm feeling lazy now. I showed the technique.
Yep.
You guys can do what you want with that. And this is the yellow one that plugs in there. And then we'll zip tie everything together.
That's probably what those are for, yeah.
Okay.
And now the controller and this.
The little controller. And on the back you can see we have the PWMA, a standby, pin, bin, PWMB, ground, VCC, and different stuff on the back. Help you if you're ever having to try and figure the pin out for a particular chip. Don't attach it there, don't attach it there.
Don't do it backwards.
Okay. And this goes into this side of the board. Thusly,
And the last power.
Last power and ground. I guess that's in the way. Step 33. The next motor. These look like they are the same. Yeah.
These look like they're a little bit longer than the shortest ones, don't they, or not?
Yeah, the longer than the shorters. I'm not left-handed. I'm not a southpaw. I'm doing this and it doesn't feel right.
Well, you're still capable.
I'm still capable. That's why they're supposed to pay me the big bucks.
No, you're just expanding your brain's ability to control both limbs.
There we go. Okay. That motor is in place. And now we hook it up. And it's just power and ground going on to
Black on the outside.
black on the outside. Yes. Going on there.
And now the other one.
And the other motor attaches. I don't understand where that other motor attaches. Oh.
They could have rotated that, but yeah.
Yeah. The whole turn this thing around icon that Lego uses. Something like that.
Reorient yourself for the object.
Change your perspective.
Make it easier to see what to do and understand.
Lessons for life, people.
Amen. That's why you do this channel, isn't it?
No.
Well, partially it reorients you to think about stuff and have an escape. And
Have an escape. That's the big one.
which is providing a reorientation, viewing existence.
Now this will go in with the black on that side.
Yep, they all look the same. Not that they can see that, but yeah.
Yeah. Make sure that they're all oriented the same. So that all looks correct.
That's probably why they don't rotate it, because then you would be rotated and be confused. So.
All right, wheels.
I think I can do this part maybe.
I think you can.
It's okay if the rubberized part rotates a little bit.
Yep. Okay. Snapping the rear wheels on into place.
Oh, the tension. Oh, yeah.
I do not like how close they made those wires to that wheel.
Oh, yeah.
That's just gonna, the more you run that, those are gonna
bend at all, or
no.
That's really strange. Did we misapply something on the inside? Or?
No, they just have those very close. It is possible now. It should be possible to bend these just a touch. Now this is where the difference between the craftsman and the engineer, or and the technician, all merge.
Or the long-term user who wants it to last. Looks like it just clips in. Other way. Oh no, wait, you got it right.
And this is going across. Okay.
And that might not want to go across the wires, but on the inside of them, or not? Did you put the wheel in the right place?
Yeah, the wheel only goes in one place.
So I think, well, the motors are on the inside, aren't they? Just wondering if the motor was supposed to be on the outside and it give it more. Nope. Look how much space is there.
Right. Oh, that's right, because I put this on wrong. I put it on wrong. It clips on this way. This way.
But yeah, they have a big open space, so you think that it.
That does not like to stay put.
Over the top and inside.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Twisty ties will solve it.
And then you pull this.
And insert the dominoes.
And insert dominoes.
It looks like there are more dominoes than what can be loaded at any one time.
And
putting them in here might be more difficult than just setting them up to begin with. Oh, sorry.
All right. It might be. It's kind of like
a problem in search of a solution.
It's
a solution in search of a problem, actually.
And it's kind of like trying to load a stapler with individual staples.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the easiest thing in the world
does
to
it
load.
Hold like 22 or something.
15.
Only 15. Okay.
So
if we made it longer, I made that tension thing, we could get all 30 or 40 of them.
All right. It says we turn this sucker on.
What's all this other stuff?
Oh, okay. Pro tip. Find a smooth, light-colored surface and lay down a strip of black electrical tape. The Domino Robot will follow the tape even if it's curved. Having trouble? Watch the video. And then I think we put down white. Build on other surfaces. The white is okay. All right, let's clear out some stuff here.
I'm going to reload these leftovers in the bag.
And we're going to use some of these zip ties. Yeah, we had.
Do you do that after you test to make sure that you have them correct, or?
Well, I just want to zip tie this one spot where the wires are so close to the wheel.
Tolerance.
So I'm zip tying these wires up together and then to the motor wires, which should help keep them out of the way. And then if I was so inclined, and I am so inclined.
As opposed to being reclined?
The incline thought. It's more strenuous than just a regular thought. Doing incline thoughts. I should go get some. I should get some. Yeah, I should get some snips.
The opposing force of another blade.
Let me slide by you. I'll be right back.
Well, he's gone. I can put some tape down.
Yeah, I would. Let's move this and let's lay out. Let's get the dog to shut up, and let's lay out the track.
If you could translate what he's saying.
I think, didn't we have this conversation that someday we'll learn how to communicate with dogs and find out we'll ask them, what does the barking mean when you see another dog or when you see something? And they'll be like, nothing, it's just barking. It's just barking.
Yep. I'll start back as far as possible. Okay. Just to... Might need to stay centered a little bit, huh?
A little bit. Don't get too close to the edge. We don't want it running off the edge.
That's what I'm realizing. Oh, my watch says, great, I'm active again. I guess so. That good?
Yeah, let's try that. Okay. No.
Not movable once you load it.
We're about to lose our dominoes. It's whoa. We lost something because it is That is not working as intended. This is spreading, and it shouldn't be. We lost this rubber band.
Oh,
unload.
That rubber band has to hold all that together for the
Yeah.
forces. That's going to be a tough sell.
Yeah.
Design flaw.
Come on. Go back together.
Oh, now it's...
Yeah, now we don't want to. We don't want to come together.
That one right there needs to pop through.
Oh, yeah. That's the one that came off.
Wheel
Now we
is
have...
going to be...
Yeah, that's meant to hold all of that together. Let's try it without the and see what happens. I think it stopped because it ran out.
Is there a sensor in the domino tray?
The micro switch.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
When it gets to the end, it stops. I keep trying to load multiple at a time, and I have problems doing that every time. It's trying to roll, but it's having issues rolling. It does not want to roll.
It's not even flush with the ground on this side.
Right. It's not touching the ground. I think we lost. It's not taking the... Yeah, and then we just lost the...
Do we need to watch the video and see what we missed? What good mistake did we make that we can learn from?
Well, we could super glue some of these parts together that are causing problems.
But it feels like the way it's designed, it should be working, doesn't it?
Let's try something else. We're going to try something else. Real quick, we're going to put this back together because this does not want to stay put for whatever reason.
Well, because it's having the whole pressure of this thing going back and forth pushed against it.
Yeah, and that's a pretty heavy motor with that servo. So we could put some super glue there. We can also pull this out.
I'm also wondering, is there something clearance wise on the bottom that's creating it so the wheels don't touch?
Yes.
So is that upside down or something?
Maybe. Let's see. Let's have a look.
Go back to the beginning steps.
Well, we can pull it from just like
anywhere along the way. Yeah.
And actually, I might have it in there upside down. Yeah, I do have it in there upside down. How about that? How did I get that in there upside down?
Because we made assumptions.
All right. Well,
because on step number 8, it was a quick way to put it in there. So maybe it matters which way things go.
It does.
Maybe it sneezes when it sees sunlight because its notch is on the bottom.
Okay, well, to take this apart, we are going to do some surgery now.
This is the fun part.
This plate has to be turned over.
Why do it perfect the first time when you can learn something?
I'm going to pop this wheel off. take this rubber band off. I'm going to get some other tools here. We're going to do this with all the wrong tools because I don't have all the tools that I would typically have to work on something like this at my disposal. And this is going to allow us to remove this portion and lay that to the side. This is why they pay me the big bucks, to do stuff like that.
I'm glad you're doing that because I'm coordinating a sushi request with my wife right now. So.
Oh, okay. This goes in this way. Now that's back together. This can go back together.
Good job. You were so quick to want to jump to the super glue.
I was. Because sometimes the machines don't act right, and sometimes it's because engineering messed up. Sometimes it's because the technician messed up. Sometimes it's just because it's just a very bad design and the machine is old and worn out.
But now I'm seeing good clearance on the bottom of this domino laying vehicle.
Mm-hmm. So now, let's try it one more time to see if it'll lay down some dominoes.
Third load's a charm.
Mm-hmm. Loading the stapler.
I will close the book on repentance for now. Good job repenting. And now you can be redeemed.
Yep. Here we go. I was going to zip tie this thing open, bypass the interlock, as it were. And I still could, and allow this thing just to run. All right, here we go. Trying it again. It's actually laying them down now.
Oh, watch out for that screwdriver. Wide turns, rear steer.
She takes up some room.
Wow, it's
Hey,
amazing.
we missed one.
Yeah, they're missing a couple. That guy's stuck. I helped. That's interesting that one. Yeah.
No, we got stuck. Well, let's try it again. Now that we've hopefully kept it from, can keep it from. Well, and we'll set it up back here. Reload it. Now,
Haven't quite earned the gear yet. We're almost there.
Now, when you're supposed to be able to take this
Parts from this, some of the sensors, and add it to the
IR turret.
And do what?
That's,
identify people?
That's a good question.
You gotta be close enough?
Yeah.
Around those turns?
There it goes.
It is kind of cool, but... Oh.
Hey, hey! Now that, I would say, was a successful run.
That's right. Should we try to add more to it, or should we knock them down where they're at?
I don't know if we can go much further.
That's true.
So we might as well try to knock them down where we're at.
We should do a comparison video and set up 15 dominoes to see how long that takes compared to doing this. I'm just teasing.
We should see if it'll actually load real dominoes.
Oh, as opposed to these custom ones for this?
Right.
Probably not. It's pretty...
I'm curious.
Yeah? Do you have some?
I'm going to grab some dominoes.
Okay, I'm going to knock some down.
Okay, you can knock some down. You can set them back
Here we
up.
go. Ceremonial. Can we count to 15 as fast as they go down? Probably not. Oh, yeah. Nice sound. Definitely worth a level 1 gear. Here we go. This has been an Archimedes tabletop here. The IR receiver to the high bridge. Wait, how does it turn? Just there? Mm-hmm. Oh, it's not turning.
You can't, you've got them locked together. You can't put them right next to each other.
Oh.
Because when you try to turn one, they'll try to turn against each other. And there we go.
There's pretty cool.
There's the Crunch Labs.
Oh, there's only going to be like one more of this level, right?
Mm. All right, bringing...
I haven't investigated. I wonder if like, he's still making more different ones for the future, or if it's just a set that's already predetermined.
That's a good question. See, these are...
Similar?
Very similar. These are just slightly taller. This actual domino. So we'll see if it'll fit. If they'll fit. If it'll feed. If they'll feed. I'm pretty sure they'll fit.
Well, they stand up is probably the biggest question.
Yeah. Because these do have rounded edges.
Like, how hard is it just to stand one up on my own? Oh, no, it's not tough. Yeah, you're right. The rounded edge is going to be the difference, huh?
Mm-hmm.
As well, it's going to be the width.
Yeah, the width will make a difference too. Hopefully nothing will get stuck.
Hopefully something blows up.
Okay.
You put that last one in a different direction. Is that okay?
Yeah.
We'll try and see what happens. Nope.
Nope. Nope.
It's approaching though. It's doing better than I thought it would.
It's trying.
So the return is getting blocked when they tip over.
Yeah. Because some of them I think are just a little on the tall side.
Well, let's remove the ones that didn't go. Look at that. 5 in a row. Yeah. Oh, those sound nice when they go down.
Oh, yeah. Real dominoes. It's hard to beat the sound of a real domino.
And the last one backwards did stay up. So let's see if we it probably more with the curves than it did with the actual dominoes though, right?
Yeah. Try them again.
Well, we're not going to use those ones. Those are the ones,
those are the ones that didn't
stand up.
These didn't pass muster.
Mm-hmm. This is domino tolerance testing.
We'll see if it'll stand all these up on its own, or do you want to add more?
Let's add some more.
I don't know which direction you're putting them in.
Are there any commonalities in those ones? Like they all have pink on them or something?
Pink, no pink.
Red,
blue.
all blue, pink. I'm just, it's a theory that it might have something to do with the dye color. Oops. Well,
he got stuck on the first one.
No, it has more to do with the turning and getting stuck with how it.
Yeah.
So it's going straight, they're fine. Yeah, that's what it is. See, as soon as there's a little bit of turn.
And part of it is
understand.
They're getting dragged just a little bit, and as soon as they get dragged, they're getting dropped.
Interesting pattern.
Mm-hmm.
You could use that to
Now play that out in Morse code, and what are we getting?
feed me.
Feed me dominoes. Okay, so the real dominoes don't work quite as well as...
Better than I thought they would, but yeah.
Mhm.
Well, there is the domino laying build. I was curious. Oh, there's the sensors there looking for the black line. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Curious. Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts? Final thoughts.
That made me hungry.
Yeah.
It's something that's worth evaluating all the different parts now they come together. And I'm grateful that you made a mistake again, so that we can keep learning from that.
Mm-hmm.
And how we get to the end, we assume that, hey, why isn't this working? And instantly we can blame some designer before we realize, oh wait, it actually was. Kind of like God. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I
don't
heard
let that go to the rover's head, though. He's not God.
I heard it said once that the minute you start blaming source, you've lost it. You can't.
You place your own self above whatever might have been thought of before,
or you're blaming something that, yeah. So I do blame engineers for some things. Yes.
It's an attempt to blame something outside of our control, so we don't have to be responsible.
Mm-hmm. Or because I have to be responsible and clean up the mess that they created. Well, like, yeah.
Look at that smoke. It's like slowed down. It is so cool coming out of there.
Why don't we switch over back to the main cam? Well, let's get the turret down so everyone can see the turret as well.
Oh, that's right.
So for those who are unfamiliar with the turret, this is the turret, the IR infrared turret. It is remote controlled.
Controlling it from here, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Has an eyeball at the top. I can see that, yeah. Have we shot it at the camera yet?
No. Hey, good shot.
Dead aim, yeah.
Do it one more time. I want to. Oh, no.
Oh, you want me to do it at the?
If you can hit the camera again. Yeah, I'm watching it on cam.
Okay, I'm live.
That's pretty cool.
Well, while you were looking over there, I was going to hit you in the back of the head. But...
No. So this is the IR turret.
Oh, whoops! That one's going to be.
Got it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
In any case, so that was Hack Pack 1. If you pick up a subscription to the Hack Packs, this is Hack Pack 1. And
whoa.
The Domino Robot is Hack Pack 2 from Crunch Labs. Link is in the description below.
And the last bullet is in the plant above.
Mm-hmm. In the plant above. So we're going to jump back over here. You guys can see the nice mess, but we'll clean that up by going, hey. And you can see the dragons smoking back there.
Oh, yeah.
So, in any case, this has been episode 101, the first episode in the hundreds for the Anarchimedes show.
We're getting old.
And we built the Domino Robot from Crunch Labs, Hack Pack number 2. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have, remember to hit that like button. And if you enjoy this kind of content, subscribe. Feel free to subscribe or not if you don't want to. We're not going to force anyone to do anything they don't want to do.
But we'll be watching.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
In any case.
To be continued.
To be continued. So, today is Wednesday. There will be no more episodes until Monday of next week. So stay tuned for that. And until that time, I'm Anarchimedes.
I'm Eric.
The
letters are in the name Anarchimedes. I'm just a portion of who you are.
He's just a figment of my imagination. He disappears when the cam stops rolling.
Scary imagination.
In any case, Until next time, we're signing off.